Hello, everybody. Once again, my name is John Vore. I'm a sophomore baseball player at Butler University. This is the second installment of a real-life application project for psychological inquiry. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what's known as the Mandela effect and how there are a couple psychological concepts that help to explain how this phenomenon happens. So to start this presentation off, we need to establish what the Mandela effect is. The majority of people watching this video have probably heard of this concept. But for those who aren't familiar, the Mandela effect refers to when a large group of people have a collective memory that is inaccurate. The most famous example of this is where the phenomenon gets its name. Many people, my parents included, claim that they remember seeing news that Nelson Mandela had died in prison in the 1980s. This is of course false. Nelson Mandela was released in 1990 and went on to become the South African president and later passed away in 2013. Yet many people say they remember his death. So how does this happen? Well, some conspiracy theorists will claim that false collective memories, aka the Mandela effect, are evidence of an alternate universe with altered realities that's interacting with ours. However, we can put our tinfoil hats away because this is unfounded and not supported by any real scientific evidence. The two psychological concepts that do help to explain this phenomenon are reconsolidation and misinformation effects. So, reconsolidation is defined as the process of changing a memory that had previously been stored away. This happens when something from long-term memory is brought up to the working memory and tweaked somehow before it is sent back into storage, altering it forever. When a memory is recalled, it activates what's known as a memory trace, which allows neurons to form new connections which could potentially change the memory altogether. This aids in explaining the Mandela effect because it is entirely possible for memories to change as they are being used over time. You may have remembered information correctly in the beginning, but as time goes on and you use that memory more and more, small pieces of it may not be the same. One example of this is from a study conducted in 2016 where Americans were asked to identify former U.S. presidents. Alexander Hamilton was identified as a president far more often than some other former presidents, even though he never held that position. The reason for this inaccuracy is thought to be reconsolidation, since Alexander Hamilton was a founding father and was closely associated with actual presidents. The subjects may have falsely remembered Hamilton's presidency, since there is a contextual familiarity between Hamilton and many former presidents which could have triggered an altered memory to be reconsolidated. The misinformation effect, on the other hand, is when a person's memory of an episodic event is altered from information that they encounter after the fact. This happens when we accept what others are suggesting as true. Misleading questions are a common example of this effect. Going back to the Hamilton study, a question could be asked such as, what was Alexander Hamilton's presidency like? This creates the false idea that Alexander Hamilton was a president and can even create a false memory if we believe the person saying it to be truthful. Many examples of the Mandela effect, such as the Monopoly Man's monocle or C-3PO having a silver leg, can be explained through these two psychological principles. These concepts have the ability to alter or mess with memories of large groups of people, creating this phenomenon. The Mandela effect displays the limits of human memory and how easy it is to manipulate or be flat out wrong. The likelihood that the cause of the Mandela effect is a different universe with alternate realities interacting with ours is very, very low. However, many psychologists have determined that reconsolidation and misinformation effects play a critical role in the development of false collective memories and explain the limits and faults of human memory as a whole.